So welcome back everyone to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. For today, I mean, what can I say? We're having an incredible Wednesday because we have on the show the incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the incredible Payton. Payton, how are you today?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, what better way to have an incredible, super badass day than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean?
Thanks. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Now, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, helps a lot. But also, on the description below, you're going to find all of Payton's social media. Let's follow her, and let's discover why she's super badass and legendary. Now, without further more, let's jump in. So I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out the first question, which is, what initially drew you to acting in the first place? Was there any specific moment or performance that made you realize, you know what, this is my passion now?
Yeah. I always wanted to be a film actor since I was really, really little. My best friend and I would pretend that we were movie stars. And once I was old enough to have a camera, I made movies of my own. I was a super bossy little kid, and I would direct around my sister and my friends, and I would be like, do this, do that. And I would make these silly little movies. And I don't really know where it came from, like how I got interested. I was a competitive dancer when I was little, and I had a really demanding schedule. So in my downtime, I loved watching TV, and I watched like every Disney show, every Nickelodeon show, and I definitely looked up to those actors a lot. And there was a specific moment that solidified for me that I was going to pursue a performing career. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You can bring it here. We are pet friendly. Okay.
And so I was 12, and we were doing the musical Annie at school. And I did not expect to be casted as Annie, but I was. And all of my friends and my family were like, you can sing? Like, since when? And I just got so much support throughout that performance. And it felt like everyone in my life really supported me pursuing acting. And it was a really special moment in my life at 12 years old.
There you go. I like it. Epic start. Now we'll start to discover the beginning on why you are super badass. I love it. And tell me, as an actor, you often have to inhabit the lives of, various characters. So how do you approach stepping into a new role, and what are some of the techniques you use to make the character feel authentic?
I think I approach acting the same way that I approach real life, because acting really is just trying to portray real life, right? So it's kind of like meeting a new character is kind of like meeting a new person in real life, or like you're meeting someone new and you're kind of like trying to understand them. You don't want to make any judgments right away, but you might be analyzing their behavior, trying to just get a grasp on who this person is. That's kind of how I am with new characters. I think it's all about empathy. I think like most actors you'll meet have like a very strong sense of empathy, and that's kind of what draws us to trying to understand what it's like to be different people with different experiences.
Okay, I like it. And tell me, what are some of your... Yeah, you know what? I just have like a quick random question that came to my mind, which is, what are some of your favorite characters? Either from films you have seen, or TV shows, or plays, why not? What are some of your favorite characters that perhaps somehow have inspired you in your acting career in general?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's funny that you use the word badass, because I think most of the characters that I'm inspired by are like really badass women. Like in some of your other questions later, they're coming up about favorite characters and movies and stuff like that. I think you will see a theme of badass women for sure.
On the flip side, tell me, what has been the most bizarre or unexpected thing that ever happened to you, either on stage or on set?
Film sets can be very bizarre indeed. I have two different stories. So one is the first time I was ever on set. I was filming a horror short film called Mammon. It was an incredible experience. I could not have asked for a better first time on set. I'm still friends with the cast and crew today. And it was so fun. And I'm just a huge horror person. So getting a horror short film for my first experience was amazing. Now, the bizarre thing was that the casting call for the character that I wanted to be said, no vegetarians. And I am a vegetarian. I have been a vegetarian for almost a decade. And so I'm like, what could they possibly be wanting to include that you can't be a vegetarian? So I reached out to the director, David, and I said, like, I'm super interested in this role, but I am a vegetarian. So, like, can you give me a little detail on, like, why no vegetarians? And he was like, this character will be eating a real heart, like a beef heart or like whatever he could get his hands on. And he was like, you don't actually have to eat it. Like, you could just like maybe put parts of it in your mouth and pretend to chew it and then spit it out, movie magic. And so I gave myself like 24 hours to think about it. Like, can I do this? I have not like touched meat in so long. Can I do this? And I really wanted to do it. So I said, yes, we're going to figure it out. I'll do it. And yeah, so I did put a beef heart like in my mouth and around my face. It was so disgusting, but the crew was so supportive and like really proud of me, even though I felt like I kind of chickened out a little bit and didn't go as far as I could have. So that's the first bizarre story. And the second one is pretty different. So about a year ago, last November, I got casted as the leading role in a feature film, a very small independent production, but I was very excited to experience a feature film, and it was a great experience. And then a few weeks after we finished filming, I watched the movie Bones and All with Timothy Chalamet. Just coincidentally watched that movie, and I am like 2 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, that's how the movie that I filmed started. Like, the director had claimed to write an entire original script that we spent 15 days filming. And 2 weeks later, I realized that he had copied the script of Bones and All, a Warner Brothers movie with Timothy Chalamet that only came out like a year or two prior. He had copied the script word for word, and we had filmed that. That's what I had just put my blood, sweat, tears, heart, soul into for 2 weeks. Was a fraudulent movie, and he never admitted to plagiarizing the script, and he never ended up making the movie after I kind of called him out. Not really. Yeah, I kind of was like, "Are you inspired by this?" And he just ignored me. So that was pretty fun. People definitely find that to be a pretty funny story. That I spent so much like work on this, and then it turned out that it like he lied about the entire thing, and I don't know why he went through all the work to film this project that he completely abandoned and never, paid the actors what we were supposed to get, all the, the whole shebang.
Yeah. I mean, I would have. I mean, I would bet that would have that feeling would have been like, ah, man, you know what I mean? Like that would have sucked.
I've never been so angry in my life, to be
Yeah, I bet.
honest. I felt very like duped and lied to and taken advantage of. Yeah, I was real mad.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. But hey, at least you had an experience. You know what I mean? At least you were
It was a
able
good
to. You
experience.
know what I mean?
Actually on set, super fun.
That's a shame. That's a shame. And tell me,
Yeah.
acting can be, emotionally demanding. So how do you maintain a balance between fully immersing yourself and at the same time taking care of your emotional and yeah, well-being, basically?
Yeah. I definitely think I'm still learning on that one. I don't know if I'm like experienced enough to even answer it. Like, I haven't played a lot of really emotional characters. Like, horror always feels a little bit campy and fantasy-ish, and it doesn't feel like real life. So, I will be interested in the future if I get more dramatic, emotional, dark roles, how that will affect me and if I'll be able to balance it, and hopefully I'll have advice at that point.
I'll take it. I mean, it's part of the whole experience, right? I mean, I think it's also kind of inevitable that sometimes you will get involved into this character so much, and even know that it's not real what you're filming, your body can't tell the difference, right? So I can
Exactly.
understand that sometimes for
Yeah.
actors might be like a little bit challenging, especially if they are about to play in a specific scene that is kind of outside of their regular lives or outside of what they live in the past. You know what I mean? And to be so
Yeah.
much involved, yeah, you can understand that sometimes that can bring
And I've
like
and I've mostly just done short films, which usually take less than 4 days to film. So it's like within 4 days, I'm not damaging my
totally,
my mindset in a character.
totally. And tell me, if you could play like any historical figure, fictional character, well, you know what? Let's go crazy, even an animal. Why not? What or who or what would it be and why?
I did grow up as a musical theater kid, so I definitely still have some like dreams around that. And so my dream role would be if they made a movie musical version of the musical Heathers. I would love to play Veronica. She is a very badass woman, and I love that movie and that musical.
Sounds like a plan. I like it. And, as an actor, you often work closely with directors and fellow cast members. So, can you share an experience where collaboration led to unexpected creative breakthroughs or even insights?
Absolutely. At the beginning of this year, I had the pleasure of being casted in a horror short film called Autotheist. And the director of that, Ryder Hartman, has been who I've collaborated with most closely in my career so far. Um, when we were making that short film, it was like everyone could feel that it was something special. And that's like one of those like really special feelings on set when everyone is like, wow, we're creating something really cool here. And I had some very new experiences on set that Ryder, as a director, was challenging me. He was really challenging me on this set and in this role, and it was really interesting. There was this one. So yeah, my character was like a villainous horror thing, and I have this like dark villainous monologue, and meanwhile there's like kind of these flashing lights and stuff, and he had given me the direction to every time that the light changed, because it would go like red, green, red, green. Every time the light changed, he wanted me to change my face as well. So I was like in the red light, and then in the green I had to kind of a more different face. So I was saying this monologue and also changing my facial expression about like every 2 seconds. And we had to do like 11 takes because it was so challenging for me. I had really never been challenged like that in acting before. And I felt so like high after that experience of like being challenged so hard. And yeah, Ryder and I have continued to collaborate. After we finished doing that short film, he let me know that he had written 3 more short films with me in mind as the lead character if I was interested. And I was just over the moon about it. I joked that it felt like he was creating me my like own little American Horror Story. That was like one of my favorite shows growing up. And we have an upcoming short film called Invaders that we will be filming in the spring. And he wrote me just like such an exciting horror character, and it's been so amazing to collaborate with him.
Okay, I like it. Cool experience. And yeah, I think it's one of the great things, right? That whenever you are kind of like on the right path, that on the right path meaning that where you're supposed to be, you know what I mean? That instantly everything kind of connects, that no matter how challenging things might be, you don't see them as something so annoying. You just see them as part of the whole experience, and your take on things are totally the opposite way as when you do something that you clearly don't want at all. You know what I mean? So I think whenever those type of things happen, it's like life showing you that everything is kind of yeah, that everything is meant for something, and you are supposed to
Exactly.
be on the right path somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. And you know, actors often had to adapt to different genres or and styles of performance. So, is there like a particular genre that you haven't explored yet, but you would love to try anytime in the near future?
Yes. I would love to feel more comfortable doing comedy. Um, I like to think I'm like kind of a funny person in real life, but comedic acting, I truly see as like such a talent, like having an understanding for comedic timing. And um, yeah, I really admire comedic actors, and that's something I don't have a lot of experience in. I did do one comedic short film called Phantas Memoria. It should be coming out soon, where I did play kind of a comedic relief character, and I had so much fun. Like I didn't expect to like it as much as doing horror stuff, and I did. I thought it was so fun, and I realized that I just uh, as much as I love horror, I like it's just fun to be on set, like doing any genre. It could be doing like the cheesiest soap opera in the world, and it's just a blast. Like,
Yeah, I like it. That's pretty cool. I started to discover why you're badass. I started to get a more understanding on why you were such a badass. I like it. I like it. And let's say that if you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring 3 movies to watch for the rest of your life, what would it? Well, yeah, like what would they be?
yeah, my favorite movie of all time is Jennifer's Body. My second favorite is Jordan Peele's Us. And my third is a lesser known kind of weird little like drama called Electric Children.
Hmm. Okay. And why those films in particular? Like, yeah.
Those are just my favorites. They're like my letterboxed favorites. I just really, really love them. So I could definitely watch them over and over again, and they'd always bring me joy.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And if your life was turned into a movie, which actor would you want to play you and why?
This is a hard one. I couldn't really think of anyone who like looks like me per se, but my favorite like up and coming young actor is Sadie Sink. She's like the ginger in Stranger Things, and she was in the drama movie The Whale, and she just blew me away. I think she's really versatile, and she can also sing, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. And, in the age of streaming platforms and binge watch, what's your guilty, well, I wouldn't say kind of a guilty pleasure TV show, but what is kind of your favorite TV show that you could watch over and over and over again?
Yeah, I agree with you that like no pleasure should be guilty. Pleasure is not a guilty thing. And my favorite TV show at the moment is Yellow Jackets. But my like lifetime long favorite TV show is Desperate Housewives.
Interesting. Hmm. Okay. Okay. And, acting often involves like a lot of vulnerability and putting yourself out there. So how you handle criticism and rejection in such a competitive industry?
Yes, that is the real challenge, isn't it? I really struggled to start my acting career. I My confidence just wasn't quite there, and I had to do like a lot of like inner self work to try to get my self esteem and confidence to a place where I could handle that kind of rejection. But once I did, there was just like this separation because like the hard part is that like as an actor you're selling yourself, like your work is yourself, what you look like is a part of your work, what you do like, and it just felt like I was able to just separate this from like who I am as a person, like am I kind, am I generous, like these important things about who I am really as a person is a separate entity than this actor person who is just pursuing a career, and it's not to do with who I am or um talent or the film world. I also find the rejection actually a little bit easier to handle than theater, because theater it feels so much like, wow, I wasn't talented enough, I wasn't a good enough singer, period, I wasn't good enough. And film, it's like I wasn't the right fit for the role. I know they have a very specific vision of what the person looks like. Maybe they have to have a certain eye color. Like you never know what these things of like why certain people are getting casted in film, and so much of it is based to do with looks and like so many factors. I definitely found the rejection with musical theater a lot harder to handle because it really felt like, wow, you are not talented enough. You are not good
Mm. I mean, it just, it's part of the whole experience, right? You know what I mean? You're gonna have your yes, and you're gonna have your no's, and whenever you have your no's, it's just take it as a part of the whole thing and keep moving forward. As you were saying, it wasn't meant to be. So
enough.
okay. Now let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become an actor. Now here's the thing, zero experience. So based on what you know, what do you think that? Yeah, like where do you think it would be important for me to start?
Yeah. That's a tough one. Again, I'm not super experienced yet, so I'll gain more experience and advice as I go. But some of the best advice I ever got was at an acting class in Toronto at MAP Actors. The teacher, Meredith Medici, brought up a Tilda Swinton quote where she talks about I'm going to butcher how she actually says it, but she talks about making sure that your dreams have soft edges, and that thinking about, your dreams and the acting world and stuff, it shouldn't be like this painful thing. It should all be very positive and fun. I just really resonated that with that like pursuing a career in arts it should be all fun. Like once it's not fun anymore, something's wrong. Um, and you need to take a step back and like realize what's making it not fun for you, because it really should be just such a positive space. And that's really how I try to think about my acting career, is just a place only for positivity and pure gratitude. I feel so blessed for every audition I get, every person I meet. Every single thing is such a huge blessing. I feel so privileged to be able to pursue this career, and I feel so lucky for like the little roles I've gotten so far. And yeah, everything should just be such a blessing. And if anything feels negative, there's something up. It should all be fun. It should all be good times.
Totally. Okay, I like it. And if you weren't an actor, what career path do you think you would have pursued, and why?
Something to do with science or animals. I really love animals, and I always have for a really long time. And science was always like my favorite subject in school.
Okay. All right. And my last question, so we can all enjoy and relax after an epic chart discovering why you're super badass. So here it is. What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
How about Payton Wilson will eat your heart out?
Sure. You want that to be the title?
I don't care. That was just the funniest thing I could come up with.
I might have one. What do you think about this one? Yeah, it's hearts. No. Yeah, no, wait. Would be food, hearts, and acting.
Love it.
Yeah, you think?
I don't know. You can definitely come up with something better than me, though. You're the expert.
Inspiration comes from the heart.
Ooh,
What do you think?
I like that.
That one? You think that
Once
one?
people watch the episode, they'll realize why it's funny.
Yeah. Inspiration comes from the heart. That's the title. Fair enough.
I like it.
And at the end, what can I say? The fact that you're pursuing it, you're making it happen. You are pursuing your dream. That's pretty cool. I think it's really impressive, and also it shows out there. That whenever you have a passion to it, it's okay. It's okay for you to go over, for you to try it, for you to check things out. And the fact that you're doing it, you're showing results. I think that's proof enough. Besides creating cool stuff, like cool characters for us to see, you're also showing between the lines that dreams are possible. And I think that type of positive attitude you are bringing to the table, it's super important, especially right now in this crazy time we're living in. So hey, keep doing what you do, because I do think it's impressive, and now I discover why you're badass. So
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
absolutely. I do want to thank also those who stayed the whole episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below, but also, as I was in the beginning, in the description, you're going to find all of Payton's social media. Since we discovered why she's super badass, let's make her viral. # Team Payton. And again, thank you for making this happen. Have an incredible upcoming Christmas, New Year. Keep rocking, keep shining, keep being super badass. And I'll be seeing you the next one.
Thank you.
All right.